to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. I did the intro.
I had just been using AI for the intros for months at this point. Though I guess the last time we actually did a show was a month and a half ago.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe more.
It's been too
I don't
long.
know. Time flies.
That month was the fastest and the shortest. Wait, the fastest and the longest at the same time.
Your last month.
My last month. Yeah.
Yeah, I assume that time just kind of blends together.
Yeah. It was because it was so up and down. And so sometimes it felt real fast. And then other times it felt forever. Especially when I was alone. I got real weird and sad. Like I had nothing to distract me. And I was in this limbo. So it was really...
What was the limbo?
The limbo was waiting for the celebration of life to come, the date to come. And also like, well, what do I do now? What am I doing? I have to sit here and like feel.
It probably isn't a bad thing, right? I know it sucks. And a lot of people look for ways to distract themselves so they don't have to deal with grief. But if you don't actually process it, I like, to me, thinking of you sitting there alone, like that, it's just the alone part. If being alone is the only time the grief comes out, then I guess it's good that happened. But, ideally it would be, and I'm not saying that you were alone the whole time, but, ideally it is, you can grieve, but also not have to sit there alone, because being alone is tough.
It was really like when I was alone, I was just constantly trying to disassociate. Like I was constantly on my phone, and then I'd like run out of things to do on my phone. I felt like, and nothing was like giving me anything I needed, so I was in this weird, like, come on, give it to me, give me the peace that I need. And I couldn't get it. And so
did you even know what you were looking for, though?
No, I didn't. I was like running in place, like in or like in sand or something, and I couldn't make any progress. It was frustrating and annoying and sad.
There's a general idea of what you want. Like, I just don't want to feel this. Like, that's the general idea, but you don't really know what you're looking for.
No, because I needed to feel it. I just needed to feel it. And I did. Like, I'm not suppressing it. I didn't suppress anything or like stop myself or anything. So it wasn't, being alone wasn't the only time it came out. Like you said, it was more like just any time. Me and Mom are out at dinner and we're crying.
Yeah, the reality hits.
Yeah.
You disassociating, though, yes, that doesn't surprise me. I think even your text message to the group when you told everyone on the show that your dad had died, not that you were denying this, but it's like you could tell you were just very numb. It's like, this is weird to say, but my dad died.
I didn't know how else to do it.
It feels go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, any way that I would have done it felt like I was gonna make everybody else feel okay that I have to text this to them. So I just said it instead of like, guys, I just want you to let you know that my dad has it's like, no, he died.
Well, the initial shock it's a normal thing too. It's like, what? Mm-hmm. It's just weird that it happened. It's like, oh. Obviously, it's something you'd been thinking about, knowing your dad's declining health and the conversations we've had here. And you had a lot of complicated feelings around it. But it all boils down to one very specific thing in that moment. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
And all that other stuff still exists. But what do you do with it in that moment? And it does kind of go away. And then it does still matter, but it also doesn't matter in that moment. So, yeah,
oh my God, it's everything all at once. It's so many things at once. It's feeling opposite things at the same time.
Which a lot of people have trouble with.
I think it's a hard thing to feel. It's a really complicated feeling.
Well, and just in general, outside of death, People have a hard time sitting with conflicting feelings, that two things can be
Yeah.
right at the same time and they don't necessarily live in harmony. I don't know why it's so hard, but cognitive dissonance drives people to weird places.
Yeah. So, but we're doing good. I mean, we're doing better. Me and my mom are planning a trip to go on because my mom's never gone anywhere. And like she's never left the country.
Yeah, that's
So
wild.
I know. And so we're, to me, I was like, God, I mean, the world is your oyster. Like, what do you want to do? And she wasn't really sure. So because it's her first time leaving ever,
We're going
and
to
she
go to
went
the
on a,
Bahamas.
well, we might be going to like the Dominican Republic or some all inclusive something. But
It's fine.
I know. But while we're there, we're going to do lots of excursions. You know, we're going to get a catamaran and we're going to do this thing and do that thing. So
Yeah, the bus will pick you up at the gated resort and then you'll
yeah,
drive
and
through
take
the
us through the
neighborhoods.
slums.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, thank God I'm protected in this bus.
I
This
know.
fortified bus with these bars on the windows and the locks on the door.
I know.
And then you'll get to that private beach that the locals aren't allowed to go to and jump on the catamaran and zoom around.
I know. But we will be bringing money to the island. So it's like being in Hawaii. It's like Hawaii is also a very, you know, it's a complicated place to live and to exist in as a native Hawaiian because you have to rely on tourism, but also tourism is part of colonialism.
I mean, tourism in general, removing the colonialism part of it.
Right, that already can be problematic.
Yeah, look at Spain. Look at Venice. Places, even apparently downtown Amsterdam, like center city Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that too.
Places that just cater to tourists, so the people who live there don't have the amenities that they need.
Right.
Spain has successfully driven out so many tourists because those campaigns of shooting people with water guns and yelling in their faces for being there has scared people away.
Yeah.
But now a lot of people are probably suffering because they're not making the money that they were making previously with all those tourists. It is important to balance that. New York is big enough where tourists don't necessarily dictate what the city does. Though you look at Times Square, it's like at this point, it's for tourists.
Oh, Times Square is nothing.
Well, if you go back to Times Square in the 80s, it was porn theaters and pickpockets.
So at least locals had something to do.
Yeah, it was still weird and not a normal neighborhood where the people living there was like, I'm just going to go to the grocery store, and it's like, oh, I'm going to go to the porn theater. But I guess that was a bit more geared towards people who lived in the city. Still, this very strange neighborhood, probably not the best example. But in New York, that's one of the few places. I was worried with COVID and everyone working remotely that places like Midtown, a lot of restaurants that depended on people going out for lunch or happy hour after work shut down. And it's like, oh, what is this going to turn into? This is going to turn into just complete shit touristville with gift shops that have awful T-shirts on them or in them.
I heart New York.
Even that T-shirt's fine. Like you walk past these, it's like, fuck you, you fucking fuck. It's like, who buys that fucking T-shirt?
Like, hey, it's so New York, the jerks. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's weird. And I noticed a lot of Trump MAGA stuff the other day in some of these stores. And my thought is, you get people who come to New York from Texas, and you've always got that one guy's like, fuck New York. I don't want to fucking go to New York. And then he gets here and he sees that a store is selling like a MAGA hat and he buys it in New York and he thinks it's cool. And then his whole feeling changes. Like, I mean, I couldn't live there, but I had a nice time. You can never fully give in. And it's also a fair assessment to not want to live here, but also enjoy it. But I think the people who come in with this preconceived notion who had never been, if they do end up liking it, they can't just say, you know what, I enjoyed that. It's always got something attached to it. I liked it, but I mean, I could never live there.
People like to have big opinions. You know, like they want to go to a place and they don't want to just be like, "Oh my god, I loved it." It was like, "Oh, well, I had criticism. You know, it was fine." But
that's because
people like to
politics
have
always
hard opinions because it makes them feel interesting. Some of them are genuine, right? But some of them are just like a little bit of was like when you're against anything you're supposed to be saying. Forget what that's called.
So much of it's rooted in politics these days. But
oh yeah, I didn't think about politics. Except you did talk about MAGA hat.
Lifestyle and personality. A person who lives in a rural area who rides dirt bikes and goes catfishing. Going back to what we were saying earlier, you can enjoy two things. Like a lot of times it feels like these people are like, well, this is what I like. I can't possibly like a city. And then if you go to the city and you visit it and you enjoy it, it doesn't really put the lifestyle that you live and enjoy at risk. But for whatever reason, people can't accept that both things can be true. Like, well, this is who I am. This is what I do. And the fact that I like this place that runs counter to everything that I stand for, that's going to destroy the things I stand for. So I can't possibly like this thing. So it's a big secret. And I don't know how to reconcile this. Strange. People are weird beings.
Yeah. People are weird.
Complicated thoughts and emotions. They don't know what to do with them. But, going back to what you were saying, just traveling. Did your mom want to travel internationally before? Was that a thing? And your dad didn't necessarily want to? Or they just never even thought about it?
Well, my mom was raised by someone from the Depression, which a lot of boomers are. And they also were, I don't think they had a ton of money growing up. And so I think that there was a lot of, don't spend money. Like don't waste money on something that's just for you, or some sort of indulgence for yourself. Like don't do that. And then it's tied into my mom, not understanding her wants or needs. And so then of course you're not going to spend money on something that's just a want or a need for yourself, because that's tied into not being able to give into those at all. And then because my dad, like they went on a cruise once and she said it was awful with my dad because he didn't want to do anything. He was like a bummer.
Did he just hang out in the cabin?
Yeah, he wanted to watch TV, He loved a TV. And he probably felt anxious and uncomfortable, but couldn't express that. So I think he just was kind of like a little bit shut down, but pretending like he's not shut down, and then that makes it tough for whoever's with that, So yeah, she, so there's that. So like she didn't want to go places with him because he was a bummer. And then, what was it? And then she had regrets that she'd never done anything. She was like, I had a lot of time. It was just like, you just never pull the trigger on travel,
Mm-hmm.
Because it is an indulgence and it's expensive, and maybe they had the money, maybe they didn't, but with all those things combined, like it was tough for her to do that. And then when my dad really wasn't able to do stuff, then she felt like, oh, well, even if I had the guts to do it, I can't, because I can't leave him. Like it was a kasha to get her to Pennsylvania to visit her sister. Like I had to check in on him and make sure he was okay, make sure he had his pills and bedtimes and like not falling and, a lot of stuff. So it was a big deal for her to leave him. So I think that's why we're going on a trip, is to be like, we're going to do something special with the money that he left, which isn't a ton. We're going to be using the majority of the money to do this trip. And also we threw the celebration of life with the money. So
yeah, I like that. This kind of trip makes sense. You can lay back and just try to relax and have people serve you booze throughout the day.
Oh, and because she's never done anything or even like been to like really fancy dinners and things, like she's going to feel like this is so luxurious.
I would be curious to hear her thoughts. just a normal, I don't want to say a normal dinner, but a dinner that maybe to some people it's like, yeah, this is this is par for the course. Maybe it does blow her mind.
Well,
I don't
sometimes, I mean,
know.
even with Joe, I get surprised sometimes because I don't look at the price anymore because I, he is, I don't know, he's into eating a fun dinner, and doesn't care. So also don't care if he's going to pay. And it's like, okay, great. Then let's order. But even I wouldn't order like the most expensive thing, but sometimes he will. And I'm like, whoa, you're going to get that? Like $43? Like, Jesus Christ.
Which
He's like, yeah, I want it.
$43 isn't even that bad. If you're at a Chili's or a TGI Fridays, then sure, it's going to blow
Right.
your mind.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
is this? What is this menu item that costs $43 at the Ruby Tuesdays? What could this
Gosh, what could
possibly
even
be?
be that? What could that even be at a Ruby Tuesdays? It has to be like their most expensive thing stuffed into the second most expensive thing.
Yeah, or a gold leaf burger.
Oh, those are such garbage. Those things where it's like the most expensive hamburger in the world. And it's just because it has like a diamond bracelet on it. It's like, doesn't make it
Yeah.
expensive.
It has nothing to do with the food.
Yeah.
It's the most expensive burger in the world. It's a $6 million burger because shoved inside is a $6 million check.
We put it in a house. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a check inside it. And it's made out to you. Wait, to us. I'm confused.
I've gotten to the point with restaurants where it's similar. I don't necessarily care about, don't get me wrong, like there's plenty of very expensive restaurants where I would stress out if I looked at the menu, but going out to eat, it's like just get whatever we want to get. My issue with eating out is still just the dynamic of it with the serving and people, and I'm getting over that.
It's the whole thing with the tourism that we talked about. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I just don't like that dynamic, but I realize that dynamic exists for a reason. What are you going to go get the food yourself from the window? And if you do go to restaurants, waiters can actually have opinions and they can be helpful.
Yeah,
and if they're into it, you can learn something. So I'm trying to view it through a different lens other than just I sit here and demand things from this person, snap my fingers, and they bring it to me. Not that I've ever snapped my fingers at a server. It has, for whatever reason, though, just it's been hard for me to get to a point where I feel comfortable with that dynamic. But look, people are also working. A lot of it does seem, and maybe it was because I was going to, when I was younger, to restaurants that weren't necessarily, I don't want to say expensive or fine, but it's just more casual, and the people working there didn't want to be there, and you could sense that.
Oh.
And that plays into a whole other thing where I don't like to impose on anyone. The last thing I ever want to do is impose. So I'll keep a lot inside, internalize it. But, as we go to nicer places, it's like, oh, yeah, I mean, this server seems perfectly happy to be working right now. And
that's a good point. I didn't think about the server themselves sort of making it, like feeding into your already worry about bothering them. And how that could make it worse. Yeah.
There seems to be a lot of that going around where you walk into a place of business and the people act like you're a nuisance for being there. And I'm probably reading into it too much, but I'm also not saying that it doesn't exist at all. There is a feeling of, why are you here? I was happy just hanging back, looking at my phone. Now I got to do something. Maybe that's why you were such a good server. Maybe that's why when you were working at the yacht club.
Yeah. I am a good server.
You were into it.
I did want to be there, and I did want to get them. I wanted to make them happy. Like a real loser.
Well, I
should have been cooler. Be like, what do you want?
No, there's value in providing someone an experience. Now, the yacht club itself, I guess, is probably not any surprise for people because it was only open to people who were members, right?
Right.
So it's a different thing where you're not getting people in for the first time on a regular basis.
And like convincing them to come back or stay or
even outside of that. It's like, hey, we're going out tonight. We don't usually go to these nicer dinners. I have no idea what's on the menu. I hear good things about the restaurant. And you as the server can guide them through that and actually help them have a nice experience. And I do think there is value in that.
Yeah. Even at the yacht club, there were new menu items, then they'd be like, how is this? I'm like, eh.
I like, I guess I'm a bit surprised that there were even new menu items at the yacht club. I was
Yeah,
thinking
they
that it
did
was
it like
just,
seasonally. And then we always had specials. Because you have to get rid of the food that is, going
yeah,
bad.
that's why you stay away from the special.
Well, sometimes a special can be cool. But yeah, sometimes it's just the leftovers.
This is rotting, so we put it in a stew or we shoved it into a loaf.
Yeah. That's what, isn't that what Wendy's chili is? Is like the burger patties from the previous day that didn't sell?
That's what I hear, but I guess Wendy's whole claim is they don't freeze the burgers, right?
Right. Fresh,
So
never frozen.
so I guess that they would have, I don't think they pre-cook them and they sit there, but maybe they do have this meat that's in the fridge. It's like, hey, we got to get rid of this. Throw it into the chili.
And then what do they do with the chili? How many people are going through Wendy's and getting the chili?
It's still on the menu. I guess enough people are getting it.
Isn't that weird?
I guarantee there's a whole fan group for Wendy's chili. If you go on Reddit
Yeah.
and subreddit for it, like we're the biggest fans and cheerleaders of Wendy's
Yeah,
chili.
Oh man, the chili.
The yacht club, I was thinking it just had the same menu for like the last 150 years. Like we don't change it.
No, they've updated.
It's the same actual menu from when they launched. Cobwebs in it, dust, same handwriting since there weren't printers at the time.
There's some old guy in the back writing out every menu. That's my job. He used to get crabs from the bay.
So when are you going to go on your trip?
Well, I'm trying to schedule it when Joe has a trip because he's going to Spain, which I'm so jealous because I love Spain so much. It was my favorite place that I went to. Because he has a new job and he's going to like travel. There's like travel for work. I think it's really cool that he gets to travel for work. And he's like, but it's work. I don't get to go there for fun. It's like, I know, but it's so cool. I think it's really cool. But he thinks it's lame.
It's still cool.
But it is so cool. I think it's so neat. But so I thought it was March, but it's February. So maybe in February.
That's a good time to go to get out of the country when it's cold with all those other people who are escaping the cold.
Yeah.
Go to the warm beaches of the DR.
Yeah. So I was looking at Cancun because it had so many excursion-y things, like extras that you can do. Because it's so touristy there. It's like they have it on lock down there. But every place there is like a big building hotel. And it's next to like the road and then it's facing the ocean. It's more, I guess with the excursion and the really hyper focus on tourism, it's that comes with having like, we're very close to the airport and you can walk to nightlife from the hotel. It's like, oh, I don't want that. I want to be like in the jungle. I don't want it to be so corporate. But I think we're saying it like a Marriott property. So it's not not corporate, but just less. I want to pretend.
All these places, it is hard to escape. Even if it's not corporate, it all falls into the same generic trap.
Yeah.
There's like only so many different ways they build these places up. So if you've gone to one, you've kind of gone to them all, which is a shame because you traveled to, well, at least the idea is you travel to experience different cultures and see how people live in other places. But a lot of people seem to like to go and find familiarity. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Why? This
I was watching
comfort?
90 Day Fiance and they were in Moldova and he was like, do you guys get Amazon packages here? Is there a Walmart? What?
I've been to Helsinki how many times now? 3.
Yeah.
And I went
Is there
in
a Target?
August. There was no Target. There's is it Lidl? It's Lidl, not Lidl.
I don't know if it's Lidl or Lidl.
I think it's Lidl. I know it started in Germany, but they're everywhere. There's just all kind of, any Western country especially, it all kind of feels the same. Not to say that there aren't differences, but I don't know what I'm ultimately. This was also work travel, which, going back to that, I think work travel is fun. But I'm also, in those instances, traveling alone. I don't have. I don't know what Joe's got when he travels, but maybe his days are packed, and so it does kind of change. Uh, it's not an experience. You're not traveling for the experience. Your days
No.
are, I'm doing this. I go back to the hotel. I wake up the next day. I do this again, and then I fly home. And
Yeah, I think he talked about it being a lot like work here, but now in person, like meetings that he has to sit through, but in person now. And he thinks that's lame, which is true. That's lame.
yeah, I'm traveling with a small, audio kit, and I go for 4 nights for one interview that happens on one of the days. Travel time, setup, record time, it's all done and within 3 hours.
Wow. And then you have 3 days?
Yeah, and I justify that by saying, there's a big time difference, and also, what if flights get delayed or canceled? So you
Sure.
don't want to push it. So I got to get I got to build in some time there just in case something happens and the flight gets delayed and I have to fly out the next day. And then a 7-hour time difference. So I need time to adjust. They go for it. Those fools, they fell for it. But to be fair, I also was still working, and I was working on the 7-hour time difference. So when I'm on my computer, I'm joining the radio show also. It's like midnight,
True.
1 a.m.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm surprised you do that. I'd be like,
What,
no,
do the
thanks.
radio show?
Yeah.
Well, I
It's like
get
a
extra.
whole thing that you have to get to do, and you have to be up in the middle of the night. Well,
The first night or the first time I do the show, if I travel, is and that kind of time difference is fine because my body hasn't really adjusted. And while it's midnight there, to me, I'm still feeling like it's
that's
evening
true.
or early night. A few nights in, I do get a bit tired. Like I'll fall asleep before, then I wake up. It's like, oh, I gotta do this thing now.
And then Eric's like, what's wrong with you, Greg? You got an attitude. I'm just sleepy.
Well, it's like I'm joining the show and you decided to go on a rant when my segment's starting. So I've been sitting here for 10 minutes when I'm going out of my way
True.
to join the show, and you've just got no mindfulness to that. So yeah, I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
Oh, shoot. You caught him, dude.
I'm a bit annoyed. But I also get money. I also, at this point, it's a thing.
That's true.
I guess all these years, because the show's been on how fucking long now? 10, 11?
Ellie's 11.
Oh, God. That's so crazy.
So it could be 11 or 11 and a half. 12.
It's just a thing I've always done. I remember going
I know. I see people say, oh, I've been in this business for a decade. I was like, oh, that's me. I've been in the business for a decade. That's weird.
Technically more than a decade, I guess.
More than a decade, yeah.
If you go back to the beginning of it, there were some periods like you weren't in the business, but I've been in this business since 2001. How about that? Ew, old. That's the reaction you get at that point.
My daughter found a thing that said 1982 on it. It was like a necklace or something that I had that had broken. Anyway, and she was like, "Why do you have a thing that says 1982?" I was like, "That's my birthday or my year." She's like, "Oh, God."
Can't comprehend it.
You were born in the 1900s.
That's a thing. I remember, people born in the 70s being born in the 80s. Like, oh, wow, the 70s, a decade before. That's crazy. You go a whole century before. I know it's not a century in itself, but you go back to especially 2000 to 1900.
Well, eventually we'll be super old, and it will be shocking. That like people that were born in the 1800s when we were alive in the 80s. Whoa. Which I don't think I met anyway. I mean, maybe my great grandmother was, but she died when I was 5. But still, I'm just saying, it's like, whoa, the 1800s, and it'll be us in the 1900s.
No, let's not think about that. Is this where your brain is gone? since you're
No,
dead?
right now it is.
Have you
Oh, but
considered?
oh my God, I did do a thing after Dad died. I did a thing where I understood a little bit of what you and Tim go through a little bit, where I was having gas in my chest, which I have. It's like in my back and in the top of my chest. It's awful. And it's so painful and annoying. And I was like, is this a heart attack? This is a heart attack. I'm having a heart attack. Women have heart attacks in different ways than men. Is this a heart attack? Oh my God. And I had to talk myself down off the ledge.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
Big anxiety attack. I feel like with you sometimes big things don't hit uh, the same way, or you've historically done a good job of steering big events in a way to limit their impact, if that makes sense.
Hmm. What do you mean?
I just mean that when big life events, or even just in general, not big life events, but when I talk about things like getting older and dying, uh, you've always been somewhat nonchalant. Like, whatever. I don't really think about those things.
Yeah, I don't.
And so maybe what I'm trying to say is when big events that you can't escape, and I'm not even saying you're avoiding it. That's just your approach to it.
Yeah.
I don't think that doesn't do you any good, certainly, to sit there and fret about the fact that you're getting older every day and you're going to die eventually. Like, what does
Yeah.
that actually bring to one's life? I prefer it not to be that way. So I'm not trying to say that, oh, you're avoiding it and that's unhealthy. It's probably healthier, the way you've been able to go about it. But there are realities I feel in life that sometimes you're a processing of them or whatever it may be is like, whatever. And so when, you said that your dad died, I was wondering how that was going to impact you and how it was going to play out. And I know you do have a tendency to look out for other people first. And maybe at the same time, it's also your way of not having to feel those feelings yourself. So I found myself sitting there wondering, how things were going. And I didn't want to bother you too much. Like, I didn't want to push the issue, but I guess I was not necessarily worried. And of course, you're going to have concern for people that you care about. So it's not like that was weird or anything, but I just found myself wondering, what was going on and how you were doing
Yeah.
and how it was playing out.
I mean, I was not trying to feel anything. I'm in a way different place. I don't do that. I there are no, I I let it all out. Especially at first, right? It was a huge explosion of feeling. And then I was like dazed. And then I ate. Oh man, did I eat? I was eating.
What were you eating?
I don't know. Anything,
Any?
everything. It was weird. And I also was walking around and I didn't really feel normal until I had like 2 drinks. If I had 2 drinks, I was like, "Oh, whew, there we go. Now I'm
It would
better."
ground you. The booze would bring you back.
I was like I was below neutral and the drinks would bring me up to neutral where I would feel better. Obviously, you can't just rely on that, but I just was noticing that and how I was like, that rules. I love that. I'm going to use that. But then I had to like not use that. So I was aware of it, but no, I really wasn't not feeling. And yeah, me and my mom have really been there for each other. I don't know if you knew, but they were in Myrtle Beach when it happened.
No.
So she was alone and having to deal with all this. And then yeah, that was so hard for me to know that she was like not we were trying to figure out what to do, like whether we should go to her or if got to get her home, whatever it was, but we didn't know how We didn't know how long she had to be there, but it turns out you can just mail people in the fucking post office. You can just take ashes. You can get it. So thankfully we got mom home that day. Like, we've got to get you back. And because she made all the arrangements while she was there and then left. And dad came in the post office. He had a tracking number.
Yeah, I knew they sent ashes. When you said that at first, I was thinking like the body itself.
Oh, a body. Yeah.
Just send it through the post.
Which I guess you can do too.
I mean, there's obviously ways. Yeah, there's obviously ways to transport. I don't know if that's a different service though, probably. But I would assume that they handle ashes. Maybe it's not handled differently, but it's marked, right?
It has to be.
I
didn't see it come, but
I think it's marked so they know, they can at least handle it with a bit more care and not just throw it around.
Yeah, or have it get lost. We lost him.
Yeah, where does it go when things get lost? Like, obviously things get lost, but then I would just wonder for the rest of my life. It's like, where did they end up?
Oh, like if someone really did lose some ashes?
Yeah, it's like they're out there somewhere.
Yeah. They got delivered somewhere else?
And the person kept it. Or they got, there's people who steal packages from people's porches, the porch pirates.
Someone opens up ashes. I feel like if someone did that, they would come back and like just drop them off, like ski masked. Like,
I don't know if they would. I think if they opened it, they just discard it. Like, oh, fuck, I don't want this.
I like to think that they felt guilty. Like, ooh, I did not mean to steal this. This is not what I was trying to steal.
Yeah, you're giving honor to these people. It's like, well, you know what? This was wrong. I should return these. You're right. Maybe some people would.
Yeah, it's like I was stealing stuff from Target, but I wouldn't if I was stealing from a porch and I found some ashes, I'd give it back. I'd be like, whoa, I'm in over my head. Here you go.
I'm glad your stealing didn't ramp up.
Me too.
As a behavior after this happened.
Me too. Because like if something really happened, that'd be so embarrassing. Like someone we know that did happen to, and that seemed embarrassing.
That was always my thought when I was doing it. It's like, if you get caught, you have zero excuse. It's like, why were you doing this?
Yeah, like,
I can't answer that. I just was. I'm wanted bored. To.
I'm annoyed that this is expensive and I don't want to have to pay for it.
Yeah, it was so easy. I was buying a trash can and there's a lot of space inside of that, so I could hide a lot of other things in it. So I bought the trash can.
I never did that. That's too steely.
Well, I did that when I actually needed a trash can. It wasn't like I went out of my way to buy a trash can that I didn't need.
Yeah.
But there was also a picture frame I wanted, and picture frames are too expensive.
Yeah.
Why does this thing cost so much?
It shouldn't be that expensive. So
I'll take it.
Justifiable to steal.
Yeah. I'm entitled. I'm right here. You ask any person who's in the right. Target for charging $40 for this picture frame, or me for taking it because it's $40. Look, it was $15. I would have paid for it.
Let me counter you with another question. Did you know it was illegal?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, well, it does.
Sticking it to the man.
No, I agree. It's like, I also want law and order, but I also agree that, there are people. Target does a good job at like hiding out. I mean, not since this DEI stuff, but like there's some rich person who invented Target that's getting bajillions of dollars while their workers are not getting paid a whole lot. Like the Walmarts and the like every fucking business. So I get it. I know Eric has been talking lately about he understands why people are upset and protesting because they see every rich person getting bailed out or getting away with illegal things, but we are held to a different standard. And so he understands what's happening. And I'm like, oh, Eric, you're so close. You're so close to understanding everything.
What does he need to push him over the finish line?
For it to affect him personally. Like if like my mom's Medicaid or whatever or Medicare.
I always get it confused too. I think it's Medicare for senior citizens
I think
and
so too.
Medicaid for poors.
Why?
Why is it a difference?
Yeah, why is there different?
I think Medicare goes a lot farther than Medicaid. Like some doctors will take Medicare. It's a more robust program where Medicaid's like, oh, you're already poor.
Oh, we don't want to help you.
I was on Medicaid. I mean, when I got laid off, also to qualify for Medicaid, if you make some insanely small amount of money, it's like, oh, no, you don't qualify. You've made too much. You made $7,000 for the year, so you can't qualify for this. But
yeah, you can't make anything.
It just so happened to fall at, I think it was actually, I forget what the cutoff was, $17,000 or $18,000.
That's
but
still
I got laid.
That's way too low.
Yeah. Like there are people, it's like, I'm trying, in a weird way, it promotes people taking advantage of it. People trying to work who make $28,000 a year, but it's not getting them where they can't qualify.
No,
for
that's
this.
not enough.
No. So you get people just, well, if I try, then I'm not going to get this. So now I'm going to abuse the system.
And honestly, like, even if it's not abuse the system, it's like, but I need this healthcare more than I need a job. So I have to make less. I have to meet the standard.
I was lucky enough.
People are idiots.
Well, I mean, I get why they do it because.
No, I'm saying the government and stuff
who
make the rules. They're idiots.
I was lucky enough to get laid off early enough in the year where I hadn't crossed that threshold. So I got Medicaid, and it doesn't get you much. It was pretty much like, hey, there's no preventative care here. I'm not going to go get checkups. This is just if something awful happens, then at least there's some coverage and I won't be completely destroyed financially.
Yeah. Do you get medications?
At the time, I didn't need any medication. So I had it. I didn't even try to use it. I looked a few times. Nobody was accepting it. And the places that would accept it, it's like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go to that place. It was insane how many years I lived without insurance when I was freelancing.
I didn't have insurance forever. I think it was like 5 years at one point since I'd been to the dentist.
Yeah, same for me.
Still no cavities.
I didn't have cavities either. And I didn't have that much plaque buildup. And they still yelled at me. It was strange. They wanted to yell, but they had nothing to really yell about. The dentist said, some people just don't form that much plaque. It seems to be that you're one of those people. But still, you shouldn't go 5 years. It's like, well, what negative came of this? Nothing really.
I'll see you in 5 years.
You just don't like that you weren't getting money from me.
I hear that root canals are a scam, or like that they don't work.
Are they on the rise?
I think they're on the decline because people are saying like it's not really a fix for what's going on. Like the real fix is to pull the tooth, and the whole root canal thing is like not worth it, they say.
I was thinking it was on the rise because they were just pushing it more. And so you're saying it's really not, it doesn't really do anything. And so my brain went to, so dentists are just pushing it because they can get money for it. But pulling the tooth, that process is pretty insane because you can't even get the implant until months later. I don't know why, but if you need to pull the tooth, you then have to live without that tooth for several months before they can. I don't know if at that point they implant like the new socket and then that's got to heal. So maybe some work is done, but
partial or a bridge. I don't know what these things are.
I feel like a bridge is when you have several. What is a bridge? If you get a tooth pulled, I think a bridge is maybe you have a tooth pulled. And then the fake tooth is on a bridge that connects to two other teeth. And it kind of holds it in place. Or it's just like a row of fake teeth, usually molars, I feel.
Yeah, somebody out there. We're only talking about molars.
Yeah, somebody out there is screaming right now, you fucking idiots.
Sorry, dentists.
Well, root canals. I have a root canal. I got one. There was a cavity that had formed under the filling. And there was no pain. I wasn't feeling pain, but the filling came out and there was a big hole in my tooth from where the filling was. So I went like, oh no, this has been like rotting for a while. And my first thought was, why didn't you catch this?
Yeah. You were
cut.
going to the dentist at that time?
Yeah, that time I was going. And maybe you can't actually see on the x-ray because the filling's there. I'm sure there's a reason they didn't see it. But apparently, fillings fail and this is a common thing. It's like, that you've come up with no way to like look at this to make sure that it doesn't.
That's the point
actually
of going to them, is to get
so at
them
that
to
point
find those things.
So at that point, I guess drilling out, it hadn't gotten to my root yet, but if drilling out the cavity would have opened up my tooth to the point where it exposed. So like, oh, you need a root canal. And I just let them do it. And there was a little piece of a drill stuck in my tooth.
You do?
Yeah. It's a file. They're so small. Like, because they got to get every last bit of pulp out of the tooth before they fill it.
Ew.
And
pulp.
And depending on the root itself, like giving all the way down there, they have to use some really small, skinny tools. And I guess they can break. And sometimes they break and they can't get them out. So they just kind of enclosed it in my tooth.
What? That doesn't
It's very
make
small.
sense.
It's very, very small, but you can see it in the x-ray.
That's so weird.
It's okay. Well, this is just the way it goes. But I stopped going to that dentist because that's the dentist where they were trying to push some services on me, like scaling and and I declined.
They were really trying to sell you on some stuff.
Yeah, I declined, an Eastern European woman who was cleaning my teeth said, all right, whatever you want. Good thing I brought my sharp tools today.
Jesus Christ.
And then she proceeded to hurt me. I don't know if it was on purpose to teach me a lesson because I didn't take them up on their scaling, but
good thing. Good thing punishment for you. It's going to make it even worse for you now.
Well, every time I went, it was always, hey, your bottom teeth are crowding. Yeah, they've been like that since I've been young. It's fine. I know what they look like. They're not crowding anymore. Well, don't you care cosmetically? No, I don't. Well, I mean, more tartar builds. It's harder to clean. You usually get a Invisalign, which insurance doesn't cover. I was like, no, I don't want that.
Then no.
Well, the gums on your lower teeth, the gums have receded a bit too. It's like, yeah, I know. It's been like that for a long time. They're not receding anymore. I keep an eye on it. Well, yeah, you really need to, we need to go in with the surgery and take gum from elsewhere and cover that. No, I don't want that. I don't need that.
Damn, this dentist is like, do they need money?
I don't know. I eventually left them.
Yeah, like who's ever's practice it is a gambler. It's like push crowns, push.
Well, it's one of those things. It was one of those things where I think that the office itself changed dentist hands, but you so rarely see the dentist or the dentist. Like there's three of them, and I've been going to the same that.
And they're just at the end. They come in and they poke you a little bit, and then they leave.
Yeah, so I think it had sold at some point, but like a lot of the people kept working there. It didn't change names, but like the dentists seemed to swap, and there was a shift at some point. So what I gather is they sold it and some new dentist came in and started pushing everything that they could push. And so I just found a new dentist that I really like.
Good. They don't push you?
No. And they explain everything, like as they put a screen on the ceiling. So when you're laying there, they can walk you through pictures they've taken and things like that.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Part of it to me, it's like, yeah, okay, just do your job. I don't need to know everything.
Yeah. Oh, I love to know. I turn around and look at the x-rays. I'm like, what's that?
It's nice that they offer it up. They also are very big into not hurting you, which is nice.
That's a cool thing to
making sure you don't experience pain, or there's always going to be some small discomfort, but in general, like let me know. We care about this. It's like, oh, unlike that woman and her sharp tools who took joy in hurting me.
Open wide, here I come.
Yeah, cackles.
Look at the blood.
That's my blood's all over mask.
I know we only have a little bit of time left, but I have to pee so bad. Can we just pause for 2 seconds?
All right, go.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Actually, I'm going to time you. Ready?
Okay.
Set. Go.
Okay. Okay, I'm back.
Time. Pretty good. 68 seconds.
What? That's not bad.
I'll cut that out so people don't have to sit in 68 seconds of silence. So maybe I should leave it.
You.
I don't know. Nah, I'll cut it. And they'll just hear the woo that you made as you were running back. That's where we'll pick up.
Okay, good.
Woo! And I'll say 68 seconds. World record. How would you measure the world record of a urination? You'd have to have volume too. It can't just be like, because somebody could say, I need to go pee. And then their bladder's 1/10 filled. So that wouldn't really be the fastest pee. I don't know the way you could do it. Maybe largest volume. If there'd be different records too. Fastest, largest.
Yeah, it's
volume.
too many. It's too many to. It's too many to be able to put it into all the different categories it would have to be in.
I was peeing the other night at the hockey game, and there are dividers at the urinals, but
that's nice.
Like I had already started going, and then the guy next to me came up and he was really loud. He's like, and like he glanced over my way. He wasn't like looking down, but just automatically, like the pee stopped. Like I didn't even. It just sometimes it's hard to start, but I was in the middle of it.
Weird. Why did he do that?
I don't know. Some people just and then he's undoing his belt. I don't know. Some guys, like, yeah, I'm just one of these guys who doesn't give a shit. I go in and I piss and shit where I need to shit. No problems at all.
I shit where I need to piss and I piss where I need to shit. Fuck you, society.
I know that there are many problems that you face going to the bathroom in public as a woman. The fact that you need a stall, that the stalls probably sometimes are messy and you have to hover. It's slow moving, unlike guys' bathrooms. But you don't know what it's like to have to stand shoulder to shoulder to another man as you're relieving yourself.
I feel like it's more embarrassing to be a man a little bit, or at least I understand this part of it, because you have to, like, if you're going into a stall, it like sometimes automatically means you're going to poop, and now everybody knows you're going to poop.
I guess so, but when you're at a sporting event, whatever opens up first, you take that.
Oh, you just do it.
There was this one guy waiting in line, because the line was kind of long, and there were 2 stalls. And when you're going into the stall to pee, you don't lock the door. It's like, whatever, I'm going in. And he couldn't get through his fucking brain that somebody was actually in the stall. He was like, let's say 6 people behind me. Why is no one using the stall? Is somebody in there? There's no one in there. Why is no one using the stall? And then the person would come out. He's like, oh, there was somebody in there. And then the next person would go in, and he's like, did somebody in there? Did they go in? I'm just going to somebody's in there. Moron, shut up. Like, that's a level of anxiety I can understand.
Yeah.
For a person who can overthink and get stressed about things. It's like,
yeah, is there something happened? Can I control it somehow?
It's like, what the fuck is your life like? I can understand. We all have that feeling if you're waiting in line and the line's long and there's, you want to get back to the game and you see a stall and you can't tell if someone's in there. We all have the thought. It's like, is someone in there? But you have to assume that, yes, because there's people in front of you who are feeling the same way you are.
Who also have eyeballs.
Who want to get the hell out of the bathroom. But to just vocalize it over and over. It's like, I can't deal with you.
You should have turned around like, hey, it's okay. Just calm down.
Pat him on the head.
Yeah. You okay? I want you to focus on where you are right now.
He starts to purr like a little kitten.
Oh, but I just want to know if someone's in the store. This sounds like a New York, like, nebbish.
Yes, he was.
Like, yeah,
That's exactly what you're thinking.
Okay.
Exactly what you're thinking. That's who this man is.
Dang.
I couldn't enjoy the game the other night, though, because I guess we didn't bring this up on the show, but my friend Howard, who's in his 70s, that was the day that he texted me, help. And then he didn't respond to my call. And so I called, 911 to send an EMT over there. And I didn't hear back from them. And I didn't hear from him. And so we're at this game and I want to enjoy it, but I'm feeling guilty for being at the game. It's like, should I even be at the game? Should I be doing more to make sure he's all right? And then there's a side of me. It's like, fuck this. I should enjoy this game. And why the fuck am I in a position where this is my concern and my worry? So there was a lot of feelings. And I, in general, don't think I had that good of a time, which is a shame. Like it was, there were moments I caught myself enjoying it, but then I'm like, hey, all this other stuff's going on.
That's really hard. It's really crazy that you have ended up being the only person to be his caretaker.
Which I can't be.
Right.
I mean, it's hard enough when it's a family member. You're more obligated to do it, but everything that
Yeah.
you and your
But at least
mom
they're
went through.
family.
Yeah, everything you and your mom went, but that's stressful. That's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard to be anyone's caretaker. And this is a person I'm not even related to. It's someone I've known for like 11 years at this point, and his health
For a
is
decade.
deteriorated, and his wife died. And I realized how much his wife was doing now before she died. But it's like, you gotta take ownership of your life, dude.
Yeah.
You're having trouble, because you're in such pain getting out of bed. You're depressed, rightly so. But it's just like, come on, take some fucking ownership. At least
It's
realize that it's kind of shitty to dump it all on me.
Yeah, but they don't think like that. They don't think about it being a burden on you. They can't do it themselves.
Yeah, but when you try, you meet when you try to help. It's like, all right, look, I'll make this decision for you, or I'll
Yeah.
help you make this decision. And it's every excuse in the book.
Yeah. I mean, and you can't do it's like an addict. It's not they're not an addict,
Yeah,
but it's the
yeah.
same sort of thing where it's like you can't do more than they're willing to do. And it's hard because as people, what to me seems like men, as they get older, they really turn into children. But they are also still an adult man. And so you cannot make them do what they are not interested in doing. But that's across the board with anybody, like I was saying, like with the addict, like you can't make them do all the work that they have to do to be able to get better.
No, you can't even help them start that work unless they decide themselves they want to start it. Then you can assist at that point. But I think there's often this idea. It's like, well, let me just help put you in a spot to start the work, and maybe that'll get the ball rolling. But quite often they resist that. But it puts you in a shitty situation, and you bring that up, and I was thinking exactly the same thing. It's like, what are the choices here? Like right now, the choices seem to be I check in on you and follow up, or you lay in bed and die. And then somehow that's on me, because if I just say I'm not going to do this and you just lay in bed and die, then I'm not going to feel good about that. That's a thing I have to carry around, even if it isn't really my fault. But
I struggled with that with my dad, and my mom struggled with that with him. That like he needed to do a whole lot to get himself, more mobile, or the ability to move so that he could be healthier. Instead of just like, he always worried about his diet, but he also ate silly things. But yeah, it's like he needed to do these exercises to help him with balance so he wouldn't fall and like hurt himself so often. But he wouldn't do it. My mom didn't want to, like, she didn't want to be making him do anything in the first place. But then when it was like, well, now it's kind of, he won't do it on his own, so now it's up to her. And she was like, she could try to fake it, and like do it for a little bit but she didn't want to do it anyway. So it just fell off. And it's like, well, she already did a little bit more than she had to, because like we all need some encouragement, but she can't be the one in charge of him doing it. He has to be.
It's complex feelings. You don't want to be doing it. That in itself makes people feel bad. But
she felt terrible for not wanting to do it.
It's a totally fair reaction. Who wants to spend all their time doing that? Who wants to spend half their time doing that? A quarter of their time doing that? Like everyone is willing to help somebody they care about to an extent.
Sure.
But there's a line, and then that extent's different for different people. But there's a line, especially if the person is not. I think you're willing to put in more work if the person's also putting in work. It's like, hey, they're doing this. So it doesn't really all fall to me. So your energy can be dispersed a bit more, and you can probably give more in the long run. But when they're not doing anything,
yeah, how are you supposed to do anything if they're not doing anything?
And you can't. So
that's where the boundaries come in. You're like, okay.
Well, I've already, yeah. I'm talking about another person's, I guess, medical issues. Not anyone really knows who this person is, Howard. But
you've talked about him before on the show.
Yeah, it's like you just don't want to air someone else's medical conditions completely.
Right.
But in
it's
general,
a HIPAA violation.
There's a level of confusion that he's been experiencing. So he went to the hospital, and like they're not going to let him go because he lives alone until they can figure out what's going on. He can get back to a certain baseline of awareness.
Yeah.
And one of the things he threw out yesterday is like, I don't want to stay here. You can just come back to my place and stay with me and help.
Well,
it's like, nope, not doing that.
You can just come and stay with me.
I was like, what a weird ask. And I get that your current state is, not where it normally is, but it's like, what I don't know. I'm not in that situation, so I can't say what I would do, but I just don't feel like I would ever. I could be stubborn. I can see myself being stubborn, but I can't. Going back to me not wanting to impose on people, I'd like to think that that's going to stick with me through my life, and I won't ever put someone in that spot. And sometimes that can happen indirectly, I think, because if you're just being stubborn, you're not even thinking about how that's affecting another person.
Right. And I think that's how these people operate. They're not thinking, he's not thinking about the effect that it has on you.
But what are they, like, what is the goal when saying no to everything? Is pride? What's
to
keep it intact?
Well, especially therapy, like people, it feels too painful to open up stuff like that. And especially when they're much older, it's like, hey, I've gotten through this amount of my life without, opening that up, and I'm fine. So they're like, okay. But when people don't understand what therapy is. They think it's like, he just needs to get in. It would be good for him to talk to someone so that he can get some advice on finding like a purpose before he dies.
And it's hard to find that. I get it. Especially with his current physical state.
Oh my God. I know. So this is a lesson, just like I was learning to, take care of your body.
It's too much.
If you don't take care of your body, there will be the injury, that snowballs into being stuck. Got to keep moving. Don't take it easy. That's what I saw this old lady say. She was like, they're like, how do you look so vibrant? Because she was in New York and she was like walking around. She looked cool. She was like, when they say take it easy as you get older, she's like, don't take it easy. Keep going. Take the stairs. Take double stairs.
I agree with that. You see how people deteriorate pretty quickly when they aren't active. It's like, wow. Because there are some people like, what? You're 78 years old? You're great. Right. And then most time it's like, certainly there are people who are constantly working out, but a lot of times those people are like, I walk, I do things, I hang out with people.
That's huge. You need to have a whole life. You have to have a complete whole experience of life. When that starts to disappear, it's like a little domino and you start getting weird and then you get hurt. Then you're stuck in the body. And
then other people are stuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, are we
going to talk about maybe this being the last show?
No, I don't know. I feel like we should have a actual last show if we're going to do that. But
yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we'll do an actual. I don't know if it's a surprise. I mean, I kind of brought it up.
No, we talked about it.
Yeah, and I kind of brought it up when I was did the little update.
Yeah,
when we weren't recording.
All right, we'll have an official last show.
Yeah, so chew on that, people.
Do it. Thanks for listening to One Topic. Okay.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.